Okay, testing this out a couple seconds before we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Testing this out a couple seconds before we go. Okay. Where's the link? Link. Not doing anything for the moment. Trying to get dialed in. Pacific. Alright. So, go to my YouTube. Does it link that on live? Oh, yes, it does. Edit. But we'll do this. Da-da-da. Sorry if you're talking in chat. I am not there yet. Okay. Testing. Pop out chat because that's so much better. Okay. What are you setting up? Okay, so I still want to pop it out. Okay. Maybe it will work like it's supposed to. No, probably not. Testing. Okay. 360. Okay, so now it's 8 o'clock. So... Joe, you can do whatever you want. I'm just planning on getting this going. So you can talk on chat. Okay, so... If anybody else can say stuff on chat, that would be great, because I don't think it's working correctly. Let's actually restore this chat. View participants. Okay. This is usually when I listen to Spotify, but it won't be. I don't know. Anyway, so we're going on creating a foregrip for Nerf. So, what should we do to to make this foregrip? Well, there's a lot of options. One of the things is that we want to do an angled foregrip. So, it should be, probably about a 30 degree or 45, 30 to 45 is generally what I would say. Because just you want it to be comfortable, and 45 is almost too much, but 35 isn't bad. So anyways, I'm gonna start with what I would think would be about how long we want it to be. I'm just gonna measure it real quick because I honestly don't think that's gonna be that fun, just watching me measure. And I'm going off of a Strife model. Granted, with the Strife, you don't have the long foregrip like you'd want, so I'm just gonna wing it and say about maybe 9 or 10 centimeters is how I would do it. So you can't hear me that high? Okay, because I can't tell. What if I do? My mic is not boosted. Let's see. Turn that off, and I want to hear. I think it. Hi, Joe. So you say it's low. I don't know, because it is boosted near all the way up. So let's see. I mean, when I'm listening to it, it sounds like it's fine. Oh, maybe that's why. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. So Nick, hopefully that will fix that issue. Like I said, to me, it's probably about 9 centimeters. Is the 9-10 is where I would go with it. It's going to be a little bit too long for the Strife because, well, the Strife has a really small grip area. So I'm going to start with 90 millimeters as my start. line command. That's about 20 degrees. I was wrong about 30 to 45. 30 degrees looks pretty comfortable, but I would say 25 actually. So that's where I'm gonna go, is about 25. Okay. Okay. So, I don't know why I was behind on my own video, so I was hearing things from minutes ago. So, it was a little weird. So anyways, this is what I would do for starting out, would be that 50 degree or 25 degree angle. We got about a 90 degree. At some point we'll make this either, I feel like this would be really cool to do, would be flattening it out and then starting the angle out. So maybe let's change this to, that's what we want, is we're gonna want like 8 centimeters down. I feel like that's what I want to do. And then I'm gonna do like 30 millimeters in, and then do the 25. So, and we will get that, because that will make it a little bit more flat overall. It's not wanting to link in, but if I can get it close. Okay, so now it should be better for both of us. Okay, so just make sure that's, why does that not seem right? It's not. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to grab this, and we're going to put it all the way over there. Alright, so this is how I'm going to start the foregrip out. I am going to do about 8 centimeters up to, or 8 millimeters, not centimeters. And that's going to be like my grip inside, because you won't need probably this whole thing to be a full thing. Yeah, because you just won't. So now we're gonna go 25 degree. And okay, so we got that. Use headphones. Oh, these are headphones. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're responding to Joe. Okay, I was like, I am wearing headphones. Okay, so this is how I want to start out with. I don't feel like I'm gonna have to doing this cut, I don't feel like I'm gonna have to do what I was planning on and was cutting it and mirroring it. Instead, I'm just going to pretty much just extrude and decide on how I want to do it. Which, knowing how the strife is, it's about, so that's about 2 centimeters wide. A comfortable grip for me is probably about 6, I would guess. I was gonna say, I would, if I had one of my grips around, that would help, but I don't seem to. They seem to all put away right now. Yeah, just about that. Okay, so because it's a smaller grip, it's not gonna be as wide as, say, your rapid strike or anything else like that. So I'm gonna say probably, if I were holding, I would say comfortable would be about 6 wide, and we'll fillet them a little bit to make it comfortable. So really we'll do like 7 wide, 7 millimeter, 7 centimeters, 7. Why does that seem way too big? 2, 4, 6, 5. Let's try about that. Why does that seem way too thick for its size? Okay, so I'm gonna go with something like 45. And really, yeah, I'm just gonna go not 445, 45. And just start off there. Can you make the one that curves around the mag so the sharp angle is... Yeah, this, I'm still gonna have this changed a little bit, so we'll see where it goes with that. This is just the start of the shape. So you've got your foregrip. This is gonna be pretty much the start, and then you'll want to fillet a lot, fillet, and you want it so that the back half of your hand grips the mat. Oh, okay. So I believe I just did this by whatever and without actually looking at it, and it looks like it's, say, about 4 centimeters down. And I believe if we do this, okay, so it's about 36 millimeters. So it won't exactly cover it completely, but it should at least make it a little bit softer. I mean, and then it being wider, usually you won't have problems with the mag. Just bump my elbow. Yeah, that's only about 3 centimeters. So, now in the center of this, because it's about, that said 45 wide, which you can always check by using the inspect tool, then checking your length. So at this, I want to start with a extrusion to get rid of where we're going to put the rail. So since it's 45, I want the middle point, which it should show you, and then we know that it's going to be curved so the angle isn't sharp. Yeah, once we get to that point, this whole angle will be curved around. It won't be really sharp. It's not going to be flat because that will all be filleting and stuff like that. I just don't want to do it just yet, but that's part of the plan. So anyways, I know that these are 10 centimeters wide or 1 centimeter wide on each side. So Go like that, go like that. They're about 3 millimeters deep, or 3 millimeters deep, 3 millimeters deep, and then it will go in about 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters. So what I'm doing right now is putting the basically where the connection is going to be, and you're going to need to do that to make it so that it'll work. In the middle also I should probably do the drop down for that. So that's about 8 meters wide, 8 millimeters wide total. So we would do this and do 4, just because you'd want a safe measurement. Actually, you wouldn't even need to do that, would you? Okay, forget that. So now this is going to be your ear box area. How am I going to do this correctly? Because apparently I think I'm doing this wrong. So I got to think about how to do that correctly. In the meantime, we'll just get down to filleting everything, because that's going to be the one thing that you're going to want to do. All these hard curves are going to be rough. So with this, you're going to want probably really drastic fillets. Because you're going to want these soft. That's the other thing, is that when you start filleting, you can always add in other things, and then it will allow you to change the whole direction a little bit more. So now with this, I kind of feel like that we need something, because this is just a flat plane, like there's no grip to it. So what we might do is actually hold off on that and start a new sketch, and this time do it here, do it probably 6 millimeters up, all the way across, lock in the 90, and then you can do all the way across easy enough, and then probably about 6 millimeters back down, lock in your 90, put it all the way across, which is 45. And what we're actually going to do here is use this area right here, and we're going to cut it down just enough to make kind of a little bit of an edge. Then we're also going to take this taper and taper it in some. That's what that is. It's a tapering angle, so that you can do a soft recess. So now cutting it about 3 makes it so that it's not so bad. I think that it might be, yeah, it's messing up because it's not far enough. So what we'll do to fix that is we will this, create a line, about 5 out, about 5, and it just really needs to be over the edge. It's so that when you go to taper these, they don't go in, because that's the problem, is that they are going in instead of staying at the edge. So now when we go to edit this, we edit that feature, add these two in, and instead of it being a taper that doesn't take out the sides, it now takes out the sides. So now we've got that small taper there, and I'm gonna do the same thing for over here. I'm just gonna do a very, very small, I mean, it's gonna be probably about that big compared. Lock in the 90, 45. I mean, we probably don't even need to do this. We'll see. I'll stop it for now. But now we go back to that fillet, and we now should probably just do smaller portions at a time. These being their own, rather than being together. You might be able... might be able to add those in. Okay. Didn't end up hurting it too bad. I don't know what I just hit. Oh, I see. Which doesn't even do that bad. It actually looks better that way. So this is all trying to make it a little bit softer. So that when it does come into this, that it, yeah, see, once you get too much at that same fillet, it will mess it all up, because it doesn't like to do that. So yeah, it likes to kind of mess things up here and there. So we're able to get like a 4.5 4. Those two do not want to work with us. So we're going to fillet all that to make it a little bit softer. And then we're going to have to fillet these separately. That looks pretty good there. So at least now we've got the starting of one. I mean, there are things that can be improved on it for sure. Let's rank that from that. I do like how that looks. But this is just your basic angled foregrip. You have a little bit of a channel. I mean, it's not much. Really, it might be better just to smooth that out right there, because that might be a good idea, is just to smooth this out. Because, you know, that bump really won't do us much good. I mean, It might. I mean, guessing at how my hand is how I'm doing this, and you can always do some sort of. So that's about 50. So for me, 50 is if I were starting at the back of my hand, because that's where it will be. 50 is about to the middle of my palm to about the middle of my ring finger. So then we also have, go back to inspect, then you also would have pretty much this line to here. So that's about another 30. So that's, I mean, really that gives you a good amount of space, which would be about 8 centimeters. And that would give you about as much space as you would want for a handle. It's just your simple grip. We're also going to try and fillet these sides right here. Filleting is really like one of the best things ever. So I do not like that it's picking that edge. So now we will try and figure out how to do our edge for that. And so if we're looking at a blaster, we're looking at where it's going to go in. And so for this, we need to be about 6 centimeters, and thank you, Velocity Blasters. Just trying to get this going, get some ideas out there. Oh, I know exactly why it was doing it. It's because this mic, once sound is cut off. Yeah. It basically needs some sort of sound. So I'm gonna go play some music in the background so I don't get distracted. Yeah, it turned off, and that's the reason why. So sorry about that. You won't hear the music, but it's there. Okay, so now back to going. All right, so now we're gonna try to do that because you need to do like this little edge here, and so it starts in about 2 millimeters in, but it also goes down about 2 millimeters before that. So, I don't know why that was acting up. So, anyways, when we go into this, this 2mm will be where it channels in. I obviously haven't done this myself. So, and hey, Cybran. Anyways, so going with this is actually something that I haven't designed yet. So I'm trying to think of what's the best way to do it. And I would think that if you're starting from the top, you're going to have a channel in. And then you're going to have a channel out. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So now to start this, I said I would go about 2mm down, because this channel is going to be the top. So it's about 3mm down from the inside. So we go like that, go like that. Now do the 2mm back out, and you also want to allow that have some room. So that is about 2.5, 2mm. We'll just say 3. 3 will be safe. So now this goes down 3. And then we would want to pull this one out, the 2. Do this one out, the 3, down the 3. And then take this all the way across. And what we'll do is we will then extrude this right here. And we'll take it negative, well, we'll take it a cut and negative. So we know that this is, what, 85? I mean, you can either do it to the end or do it over just to make sure it does, which it's 90 because, well, that's what we said. So I'll do 100, negative 100 cut, and then I will offset the plane 5mm, and that will make it so that it cuts both negative here and negative here, just to make sure that it's getting both sides correctly. So that's now our channel. It's right in the center there, boom. So the other thing, I need to grab at least one mod, because, you know, if we're going to do this so that it has its own channel lock to go into, which, mind you, I don't know if it will work that well. We need to kind of have the spot where it goes into. Oh, this is, like I said, too long for the Strife. But for others, this would be good sized. If I grab my Rapid Strike. Actually, it might be too long for the Rapid Strike. Let's see. So it would be too long for the front of the Rapid Strike, but I could always change this to be more reasonable, because it's about 9. The front of the Rapid Strike's only got about a 8 centimeter channel. So now to set up where we want that little angle down. I mean, it's a really simple AFG, so it's cool, but yeah, I mean, it's, if you're holding it in your hand, it's going to be 45mm. So that's as wide as it is everywhere. So you can design this to be shorter, thinner. I mean, it wouldn't take much to change it to be, say, the 30mm. It's just I wanted to go for a good idea of where we would start, because I've never made an AFG. It's my first one. So that's why it's also a little long. So when we go into this, now I've got a scope. It's not quite the same as a grip, but they're very similar in style. So it has one of those little triangles at about 5 centimeters in, and that is about 4 centimeters big, 4 or 5 centimeters big, or millimeters. So that's at about 5 centimeters, and they're about 5 millimeters thick. So we would take this and we would want to start a line command at here, go for the center. I'm going to go about 52 because that's where I think that it should be. And actually this rapid strike of mine would give me a better idea. Going off the measurement from where it ends, yeah, inches aren't going to help here, to where it is, it's about 45. Yeah, so it's about 45 is the back side of it. So like I said, about 5 millimeters and starts at 45. So this line can actually probably be 45. Which I did not measure. This is in the middle, but it's telling me that it should be. So that's about as big as we want that to be. Now we're going to put that 5 millimeters. And we're going to basically make a well, okay, let's see. I don't know why I threw that on the floor, but I did. It will work with tactical rails in general. The Strife really won't be the perfect one for it because, well, the Strife has a very, very, very short tech rail. So that's kind of the problem, is that it has a short tech rail. So it will still work on it. It's still designed to do what every other AFG or anything like that would, and that is, you know, to be on there. So you can do, I'm just gonna do it like this and make a square basically, by starting out with that. Now that my line, I don't know why it's acting up. Oh, having a small difficulty. It locked up. Oh no. Alright, this can happen. So I'm going to close it and restart it real quick. And that should still allow it to save, because it's gonna be like, oh yeah, by the way, you didn't do this. So now we're back all the way to here. It kind of sucks because that was not where I wanted to be. So here we go again. Now, yeah, that sucks. This is why you autosave more often. So we'll quickly just save AFG under Nerf or nothing, because that just screwed me so hard. So now I gotta do it all over again. Six. I'm just gonna quickly do this. If I don't say what I'm doing, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this back to good. It's okay, you know, you just learn to save. Saving is so important, and that just shows you why. But again, I mean, if I really needed to, I could do this quicker. right? So that's -4, -3. Okay. Hi, Phil. Okay, so that kind of sucked, but it's okay. I also... Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm an idiot, because this history... Yeah, okay, so the history got us pretty okay. That's why this down here is your history. It will sometimes tell you things that you need to listen to. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this sketch. Not there, here. Okay. So, I had all these problems with this, but it won't take that long. So, oop, missed. Okay, so back to doing that. Extruding this, -100. Which also every time you do say like a negative, sometimes it will put it into a cut automatically, so you don't have to. Alright, so back to doing this. We'll get this done. Okay, so 45, 2.5. So now we will actually make a 2-point rectangle, and instead of doing this manually, we're gonna do it like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna check back on this and check how much it's about extruded. And it looks like it is basically a square, is what it was. So we're going to extrude that up 5, and then I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then I'm going to chamfer these two sides. So when you look on anything like that, you'll notice how much it's chamfered, and it is about 2 millimeters like total. But you can also change this angle to be, because we want about that, so that, yeah, that's what I was actually doing when it messed up. So now back to this. Okay. Alright, so now I can take this and actually smooth out, not that, like these lines a little bit, because they won't matter as much. So what we'll do is we'll just make them a little nicer. Maybe not that, because this is, your hand's gonna grab part of that, so we're just gonna soften those up. Yeah, that nub might be too much. I want to edit that feature. Actually, I want to make it about 1.5 for the fillet. That looks a little bit more in tune and a little bit beefier, because you'll want it to be able to take at least some beating. So yeah, that's the start of an AFG. You could do so many other things to it, as well as make it thinner. So one thing is that it is a little bit big, because when you take it to, say, a stock strife, it is, I mean, I put that at 45 millimeters, which, I mean, it's not horribly big. It's just going to be not small. And I mean, that's I don't know if you can see this much, but I will see if I can show you what I mean. So at 45 centimeters, or 45 millimeters, I always say centimeters when I mean millimeters. So going off this, oh, I don't think you can see that at all. Okay. I will just adjust the calipers to be 45 to give you an idea. So if I were going to do it like that, it is about that wide. So to give you an idea of handrail, like it's not insanely wide. You could do it smaller. This is kind of just showing you how to do it, along with the stub, because that's what you're going to want to do is have a stub there. And it doesn't have much for back, but it's just a nice little small grip. And yeah, what we'll also do is we will fillet this edge slightly, because, and this edge, because those, I mean, are going to be edges that you can kind of grab into. You're going to not want that to be too sharp. Does not want to fillet so let's see. Let's see if I can do just one side. Nope. Too complex. So what if we I think once I test it, then it probably will, because you know, it's just supposed to be a simple design. It's not going to be anything like complex. So let's see if I can fillet it. Yeah, okay, so it was just too complex. Which, we only want a small fillet on those. Only like, I put half a millimeter. Just because that will make it a little bit softer. I mean, in case you do grab into it or anything like that, it won't be a sharp edge. A lot of times you can also do little splines or something on this. This is where you hide your sketches sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I'll be trying to print it sometime soon, hopefully. We're in the middle of building my printer, so you know, it's getting there. It's just slow, and you know, I've got the frame built for the most part. I just need to put the rest together, and then yeah, try it out. So I mean, it's not going to be that great of a grip, but it will be a nice little AFG. Maybe not little. Can always adjust this though, because this is the source file. You can make it smaller or anything like that. I could even fill this hole in and then basically shell it inside so it's a little bit lighter, instead of having just this wide ass hole. So but yeah, anything else you'd want to see before I close this down for the night, I guess? Because I don't have a clue what else would be really useful on a AFG other than, say, like little handheld areas, but you don't really need too many bumps on something like this. And this might be too wide. You know, I could revision that though. It just might mess up the whole thing. So actually I will save it as this. And now I will try to edit it. And instead of 45, we'll go 35. Drop off a whole. Yeah, it'll just mess up all the fillets, but okay, so now we're going to save it as AFG small. I am building a printer, just not. I'm not streaming building the printer. Okay, so. Okay, I don't know what I did there, but we'll just delete that. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not building the printer right now because I was just trying to show people how to do these things, and I barely know, but it's still such interesting things to do. Yeah. All right. So that has basically fixed that. Yeah, I mean, CAD messing around with CAD it's just crazy fun. I don't even know how I fell into it after doing it so long ago and doing it now again. Um, it's just been great to learn, and I'm still learning. So, yeah, fillet is technically. I always like to say fillet because, well, meat. You know, who doesn't like meat food? Not me. So I'm sure it's meant to be fillet because that would be probably correct. But you know, who wants to be correct anyways? So let's see what I can do here. Too much. I don't know what I even did before, so. I mean, working with CAD, you know, anytime you need help, go ahead and ask. I'm not the most knowledgeable person. We do have others that are. And, you know, it's learning CAD is always fun to me. So I will try and help as much as I can to tell you how to do it, but I don't know always. I just know that I will give as much thought to it as possible because I like this. Learning how to do CAD is fun for me. Um, I should have done this years ago, and I didn't. Um, for me, though, it just turned into really fun things because I don't even know. It just is. Okay, so that one will not work. Um, yeah, you want to see lettering? I can do that real quick. Just let me try and fix that. Just trying to finish up this smaller AFG. This one's only about 30 compared. Or 35. Yeah, 35. Okay, so basically when you do that, you want to start with a flat surface. Do you want lettering extruded or cut into it is the question, I guess. Because what you'll start with is go to sketch, text, and then pick your sketch. And generally you can do, it seems to have locked up on me. it seems to be not liking this as much. I don't know why it's acting up, but I'm just gonna close it again. Usually it doesn't give me this much trouble, so do. So we'll open it back up. Should tell me that. Okay, doesn't tell me recover drawing. So I will just bring out something. So here's one that I guess I'll show you. So this was for somebody else. It's kind of a work in progress. Yeah, I haven't had crashing issues until lately. So this right here is it's just a simple text in under the sketch. So you would go to sketch and then text. Click on your thing to text, and so like this, we will actually erase that. And now, so I would go to sketch, text, and pick a text orient, and then say, I forget how to spell your name. Why you're not online? Okay. Oh. So, that's right. So anyways, now we've got this. It won't work as well because right now my text isn't right because I can't. Okay, well, even if whatever you want to do, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so now we got the text. I aligned it however I needed to, which was 180. It needed to be fixed that way. We're going to change, I'm going to change to my favorite, Black Ops 1. It's not what you would use, but I don't have that right here. So I would actually open up Inkscape and see if I can, because we can do this that way too. So what we'll do is, now we got Inkscape started, we would do a create and edit text. So Cybran. This is how you do it if you don't have the text font you want in there. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so sans serif, which the Nerf font is curly italic. So you'd go, yeah, italic BT. So now we got that. Oh, no, I want to move this. So now I believe we can just save it as an SVG. So now, so this is called Inkscape, and it's a program for if you want to put in a logo or a specific text font that isn't showing up in Autodesk Fusion. This is your general way of doing it, but the one I want, the curly italic BT, is not applicable. So all I have to do is write whatever I want, put in the font I want, and then I will take it and insert an SVG. Now drawings. So now we've got your name. Why is it not right? This should have been. Okay, so this is very different. I haven't had to do this, but okay, apparently I do not know how to do text. Okay, well, so I don't know how to do text apparently. Okay, forget about that. I just can't seem to get it to go right. So anyways, this is how you would normally do it. You'd go sketch text, take the text, whatever text you want, and you just put it in there. You can then change the height and size of it and change the location. So we would do that, which I will put this about 15. That might be too big. So 15, boom, Black Ops 1. So now what I would do, because I've already done it, I would have to actually stop the sketch, delete that. Okay. So now what I would do is I'd extrude that, and then I would do a cut, and depending on how big yours is really how much you're cutting. So I'm going to cut 0.5 down, negative 0.5. So now it's cut just enough because this is only about 2 millimeters thick. So it's cut, a fourth of the way down, and it's just enough to show it. That's actually what I do on my thing. You could cut it all the way down to -1, and it would still be fine. You're not seeing any bleed through on the backside or anything, and it would be a really deep cut. But I would generally say only about a fourth of the layer height is where you need to cut to be nice. So, because then you're also talking about the structure. Like that's about half of the structure right there, and it's already a thin part. I mean, 2 millimeters isn't like thin, but it's thin enough. When you get down to 1 or 0.5 millimeter, you definitely can. It's a lot weaker, so it can be done. It's just I don't know how it would feel. The other thing is that you could also get rid of anything and just cut it all the way down. Now it wouldn't work perfect because, well, this area right here isn't supported by anything. So, yeah, and the same thing as if you wanted to do positive instead of cutting, just adding to it 2 millimeters or whatever you want to do. If you want to extrude it out, again, I'm very fond of doing like small levels, but now it's extruded out. So extruding is really where it's at. So you're gonna find a lot of that simple text feature stuff like that. And this being my cover, this is generally what you're gonna see, and it's pretty cool to be able to do it. I mean, on some of them I put a little GG somewhere. Obviously, like with my pusher covers, those are the same style, the little GG in them. It's meant to be real thin, real small. So, anything else that you want to know about, just let me know, because there's so many things about Fusion 360 that are still things I'm learning, but it's moving on. Like I've learned from my arrow covers, which I'm still testing, so gotta work on them to make sure that they fit right. Learning how to do patterns, and once I really learned that, that allowed me to start on. Well, I mean, I had started working on barrels already, but it helped me with barrels. So, yeah, and then you see all the barrels I've tested trying to design, and then this is the one I will probably work on first for getting it out, because I think it's really cool. All right, I think that's it for now. I will catch you sometime later. So, have a good night, though. And like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I will definitely tell you as soon as I can find it out. So, take care.